Well, the other point that I was going to make is that, the idea that I or anybody else believes that he's guilty, that connotates a legal term. And I'm not saying that he's guilty of any charges. I'm just saying, and I've said repeatedly, that the trial was unfair and that I believe he deserves a new trial. But I'm also saying that the evidence that was presented to me is still compelling, that he pulled the trigger
by a
and killed
police
Officer
department
Faulkner.
that was
Does that mean he should be
corrupt.
convicted? That's a different question.
By a police department that was corrupt and that was put on trial by the federal government, by the Department of Justice, for tampering evidence to obtain a conviction, for corruption, and for behavior that, quote, is homicidal. The Department of Justice said about the Department of Police in Philadelphia at that time that their corruption, their homicidal behavior, quote, shocks the conscience. And let me tell you, because part of what you said in the last interview was that, well, the courts have said over and over again that he's guilty and no one has been willing to grant him his appeals. Well, the fact is that his appeals were presided over by the same judge that tried him. And that's like asking the goat to watch the lettuce. So how can the same judge who convicted him, who repressed exculpatory evidence, who worked closely with the prosecution and the police, have anything to say about what he did wrong with the original trial? But let me tell you what is important about the case and what people like yourself and others do not know. There was a fourth person at the scene of the crime by the name of Kenneth Freeman. The presence of that fourth person at the scene of the crime was suppressed at trial by the judge and the prosecution. But the thing is that that person was identified in a lineup twice as the shooter. Why didn't the jury get to hear that? And why was it that the original testimonies used by the prosecution of people who fingered Mumia, their first testimonies in pre-trial hearings completely contradict what they ended up saying at trial? Why didn't the defense get that information? In fact, the most credible witness was Robert Harkins. He was the guy, a white guy, 41 years old, who actually told the cops there's a cop down on 13th and Locust. His testimony pretty much said that Mumia didn't kill Officer Faulkner and that, in fact, the person who killed Officer Faulkner ran away from the scene of the crime. But somehow his credible...
We're gonna hit a break. So let's do this. Let's do this. We're going to hit a break, and then we're going to invite you on for a couple of minutes on the other side of this break. Let us just take a quick break here. We'll be back with more Professor Joanna Fernandez. On the other side of this, you're listening and watching the Take Action News.
Thank you very much.